In rock and roll stories, you know, I kind of laugh when I'm asked what the favorite pictures are, because the first things in my mind are really all the pictures of me. I was really young and I had no idea I was that pretty. So I really wanted to do a book where I could just show people what I look like in my dear youth. I wrote a lot in the opening about that journey of being a girl who grew up in Detroit, who moved to Miami Beach during the invasion of the Beatles. You know, the people that I met, the life experiences that I had led me to the path. I did not intend on being a photographer. I loved making images because it connected me. I was more comfortable with a camera.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You know, the pictures of people who are very dear to me that are no longer here, like Frank Zappa. You know, like anybody else, when you look at photographs of people who have passed, or there's an image in the book of Bob Dylan with Levon Helm. And the time that the three of us spent together was, you know, made even stronger for me, that moment was captured on film and that I could tell the story in rock and roll stories. I actually always try not to categorize myself. That's a problem because the world is one in which they need to know who you are. And so oftentimes I take on the identity of purely being a rock and roll photographer, which is what the whole book Rock and Roll Stories is about, in that I saw myself just as a photographer and could not accept that title, rock and roll. It was like, what does that mean? But now that I'm older, and that's an incredibly sexy term now, I'm happy to take it on. Part of the reason for breaking it up into chapters like On the Road is because there are so many people who wonder what that's like. And my job is really to be that person, to be the fan backstage, whether it's in the bathroom or when they're on the stage, you know, to give that point of view. Music is the connector. So I try to think about what music would that person like. And if it's a jazz person, like I photographed Miles Davis or other jazz people, I try to think of music that would be obscure, that would be inspiring to them. And so if I have that on when they walk in the room, it completely changes the vibration of when they meet me, because it's kind of like, oh, we're connected. For me, it's a major part of my process, no matter where I am, and even if I wasn't doing rock and roll. Actually, there's only one artist that I've ever photographed who said no music and was very locked into that, because to tell you the truth, I'm not that comfortable without some music playing. And that was here in Miami Beach, and it was Isaac Bashevis Singer. It was quite a unique experience for me to have that kind of very quiet connection. But Isaac Bashevis Singer is a rock star. Having that camera with me all the time is still part of my journey, because it makes me more aware of everything around me.